Good afternoon, and welcome to our presentation, which bears the title "Innovation Management in Shipbuilding," as it was announced. And yeah, we're happy to be here. And maybe this is a session where we're going to talk a little bit different from otherwise the products that you see here. So we're going to talk about the levers and the preconditions that lead to innovation. And as a service provider, as a consulting company, this is actually our focus. My name is Marco, and I'm going to do this together with my colleague Andreas, who you're going to see in a few minutes from now. And in the next 25 minutes, we're going to talk about innovation management in shipbuilding, and also Andreas is going to talk about a few projects and larger innovation projects in the shipbuilding industry. So first of all, who are we? Like I said, we're a maybe smaller consulting company hailing from Bietigheim-Bissingen, which I'm sure that nobody of you has ever heard before. It's close to Stuttgart, and where our mother company is. We're a 100% daughter company of the Porsche car manufacturer. And yeah, currently we're roughly around 370 people, having a turnover of 90 million euros. And because actually our heritage is coming from the turnover of Porsche in the 90s, where lean principles were installed to make the success story of Porsche come true again, we've been leveraging this topic into different kinds of industries, those industries that you can see up here. So automotive, obviously, aerospace, industrial equipment, even in the food and consumer industry and the service industries. And today we've grown a little bit, and we're today in different locations all over the world. Still, Stuttgart is sort of the headquarters, but you'll find us also in America and in Asia, for example. Our focus is operational excellence. And what does it actually mean? Our understanding of operational excellence is not only the willingness of an organization, but also the ability to provide superior performance over and over again. So sort of as a serial innovator or as a serial actor doing the same innovations in a very, very good and specific and very excellent manner over and over again. This is what we understand under operational excellence, and this is also our core business, like I said. And you can also even do that in innovation. So you can be operationally excellent at doing innovation, and this is what I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes from now. Because we have this heritage of operational excellence and having those lean principles, lean processes in the organization of Porsche as a car manufacturer, we've been able to do a lot of projects in those different industries, like I mentioned before. And here you can see an extract of our clients that we have served over the past years. And you can see it's really a broad range of industries that we have covered. Innovation at Porsche. I'm sure that it's a little bit cut off, this picture, unfortunately, but I hope that most of you are a little bit familiar with our products, with our product range and the cars that we develop and manufacture. And of course, you here in the middle, you can see the classic 911. This is our core flagship, sort of, which most of you are probably familiar with. And innovation at Porsche always had two pillars in the past and also in the future. And innovation is built on tradition. This is our heritage. Where do we come from? Fascinating sports cars, high performance, high quality. Also emotions that are involved in those type of cars, and always on the lookout for future developments and trends. So what's happening in the market? What does the customer really want? What are the market developments? And as you can see here on the right, the Macan, our latest addition to the product range, is actually the result of combining tradition and innovation. Tradition being this performance requirement that we have, and the innovation part being having a car that is versatile, that is usable in a broad range and still has the performance and the joy and the emotions in it. So a car that you can use in everyday business. And it's a huge success story for us at Porsche. And like I said, it's the combination of tradition and innovation in terms of grasping what the future developments are and implementing that into a car. And the product range is also the sort of the result of having this market development and future trends always in mind. And what does it mean? Porsche is very good at looking at what are the big trends in society, in the market, in the customers. And this is something that is not only true for the automotive industry, but for every industry out there. So every organization should actually always be on the lookout what's happening in the world, what are the big trends, and how can I translate these for my own good? What does it mean for me? And just to pick out maybe 2 or 3 of those, above in the above right corner, individualization is certainly a trend that we also see in the ship and boat industry, where our customers really have a very concrete demand and understanding of what they want, and even they want to have it very late in the process before it's being constructed. There are a lot of changes happening, and as a firm, we're always interested in responding to those late changes of a customer. And it has to do with individualization, and the question is, how can we achieve this as an organization? Another big topic, of course, is energy and resource efficiency. This is true for cars, this is true for boats and ships everywhere in the world. Always interested in lighter materials and less fuel consumption. And it's a topic that's ongoing, of course, because it also affects a lot of the other parts here, like climate and environmental pollution and other things. So these are definitely things that most of you probably can identify with. And then another part maybe is in the lower left corner, the convergence of technologies or technological innovation in general. There's so much happening out there, and I'm going to have an example later on what an example of a technology in the future could be, also for the shipbuilding industry, how you can, or that you have it on the radar and what you can do with this. So all these things influence Porsche, definitely as a car manufacturer. Always goes into the strategies, what Porsche is designing for the future, how the next Porsche Carrera is going to look like, what kind of technologies it's going to have inside. And always the big picture starts actually from this here, and then it boils down to concrete strategies and processes. And over the years and in our projects, what are the key success factors for any kind of innovation, be it in the ship industry, be it in the automotive industry, be it in any other industry? We've come to see that we're actually talking about 4 elements here. The first of which is you need to have a plan, of course. You can also call it strategy. So like the saying here is, so no wind is good if you don't know where you're sailing, right? So if you look at those megatrends before, always need to know, what do those megatrends mean for me? How can I translate them for my own organization? What does it mean, individualization? How can I respond to that? Is it something that I want to cover as a topic, or is it something that I want to step out? Specific technologies, there are certainly technologies which you want to cover or at least be a sort of a follow-up on. Maybe you don't want to be a pioneer in a specific technology, but it's something that is an active decision, and it's something as a part of a plan that every organization needs to have to know where you're going in the future. So have a plan as a first thing. Then secondly, the plan is good, and it's a very important precondition, but no plan is sufficient, right? So if you have a very good idea in mind, still doesn't help you to get the idea on the road. So you still need to have some processes, because if you have the idea somewhere here, as you can see from this picture, so there's a bunch of billion of ways how you can mess up that idea so that it doesn't come into market. And so the question is, what are your procedures? Do you have procedures defined in your organization that ensure that an idea, that you're able to grow a small idea into the final product? And I think I can say at Porsche, we have very sophisticated processes actually, from making a very small idea into a big, good innovation in a car. And we have a stage gate process behind that, where you have quality gates and where those ideas are regularly evaluated and assessed. And as a safeguard, really, to make sure that the idea is not being lost somewhere on the way. Processes are good, procedures are good, and still, it's all in vain if you don't have the team behind it. So you always development activities, manufacturing activities are always team sports, and you need to make sure that you have the responsibilities. Because let's face it, no responsibilities, no results. It's true for every project. If you don't have the hat or if you don't have the responsibility, not so much is going to move. So do you have a defined organization? That's the question. And how does it look like in your own firm? The last and the fourth sort of bigger major success factor is, of course, then the team itself in terms of the climate and the principles and the values that you have in a team. In a larger organization, it's true for all levels. Nothing is good, no strategy is good, no procedures, no organization if you don't have the right people to do the job, right? So you can ask yourself as a leader, are your people motivated? Do you provide them with the right equipment and surroundings and environment so that they can work best and bring their ideas to life and make their ideas come true? Do you have those incentives in a way, or is it missing? And if you're honest, a lot of times is, yes, it's true, I could improve something here. So, and this is something that develops over the years, a sort of a culture develops over the years. It's not something that we can implement from or overnight, but you need to live it yourself, and you need to present it towards your employees so that they can, that they have a role model of how they can behave. Okay, talking about these four layers, which we see really as the core pillars for innovation, successful innovation and innovation management. There's just one example that I want to give, maybe what could be the future in terms of a technology that is also influencing the shipbuilding industry. And by the picture, some of you might recognize that. It's in Germany, it's a very famous term called Industry 4.0. But I believe my knowledge is that it's also known meanwhile maybe outside of Germany even. In a nutshell, what's behind that? It's actually the Internet of Things. It's the connection, the digitization of physical things so that parts, machines, robots, people can communicate with each other and make a very flexible production system come true. So talking about maybe individualization, which was one of the mega trends before, you can imagine that if you're a shipbuilder or a manufacturer or a supplier of parts, and a customer has a very late change, wants to have some design change, and of course this has effects on structure and mechanics and so on, this might be something that makes this possible. So in your production, parts communicate to each other, and they check themselves in a virtual loop if it's possible to produce this thing and also to integrate it in the boat later on. And if this is okay, then the whole system will do it manually and automatically. So you don't have as a system, as a human to interact with that, and it's happening totally automatically. And this is basically what's behind this Industry 4.0. It's the connection, the virtual connection of physical things. And one example also, as a last point here, before I hand over, this digitization of physical things enables a lot of new business models. And I think this is also very true for the automotive industry, and maybe it's also true in the future for the ship industry. What does it mean? If you have sensors in your boat, and there's research going on about paint, abrasive paints, how wear and tear of specific parts of the boat, what the condition of a boat is. If you have sensors in that and they are able to communicate, and maybe you as a supplier are receiving those information, you're able to build new offerings towards vis-a-vis the customer, because you can say maybe, hey, in 2 months from now, your painting should be renewed, or maybe your engine has a wear that should be fixed. So we call you or we come to you and fix that problem before it's actually happening and before it's too late. And this connection of parts and communicating of physical parts enables a lot of new business models. And so maybe this Industry 4.0, the Internet of Things, the connection of physical parts that are able to communicate to each other, might be something that we see in the future could also become even more apparent, maybe let's put it that way, in the shipbuilding industry. And this is just an example of a really concrete technical thing, but if you want to implement that, you need all those layers that I have talked about before, the pillars. Is it a strategy that you want to pursue or not? Do you have the procedures, the processes behind it to pursue technologies, to develop them for your own? Do you have the people, the team behind it that is able to do that? And again, operational excellence, not only the willingness, but also the ability to do it. With that being said, I would hand over now to Andreas, who's going to talk about innovation in the chip project industry on a broader scale, and show you some of the examples that we have accompanied over the years.
Thank you, Marco. Also welcome from my side.
No, the mic is not on yet. Excuse me. His mic is on.
Yes. All right, so also welcome from my side. Thank you very much. Probably you ask yourself the question, what the hell is Porsche doing here? Yeah, we are shipbuilders, not car manufacturers. We hear that actually quite often, and everything what Marco already showed you, it's probably definitely not the product itself. Yeah, we also do not want to sell our products here to you. Unfortunately, we can't give you a discount as well either. Yeah, so what the hell is it? Yeah, it is actually, oh, there's also a picture missing, the processes behind it. Yes, we do have a strong automotive background. Yeah, Marco already told you. Starting with Porsche, early 90s till now, we're still doing a lot of automotive business, but everything that is behind it, the philosophy behind it, you probably heard already about Toyota production system. Yeah, that's the start of the whole focusing on customer value, focusing on waste. How can I eliminate waste? All these things. What we said, okay, why we're not looking a brighter way, not just on a production system. Yeah, what about the other core corporate processes? Yeah, you also have waste in engineering. You have waste in your purchasing department, even in your HR department. Yeah, the philosophy behind it is everywhere the same. Yeah, something like zero defects. Yeah, it's not just important in production sites. Yeah, also in our construction site, you should know a defect costs me money. Yeah, and if I have principle behind, how can I avoid these defects? Why should I not use it? Yeah, not just only in production side. And then we said, okay, have a brighter look out of the automotive industry. Yeah, straight from the beginning on, we also had a brighter look also in other industry. So we adapted that whole thing also to like big construction sites, like you see here on the left top-down picture. That's the big monorail project in Sao Paulo right now. Doesn't matter if you build railway systems, if you build skyscrapers, whatever, or in your case, large ships. Yeah, the philosophy behind it, it's always the same. Yeah, you should focus on it. Like I said, founded in 1994, we started over 10 years ago also to go into the shipbuilding industries. Yeah, so over the year, we did have a lot of experience in that, from smaller ones, like for example Frauscher, from the very big ones like Meyerwerft. You probably also heard about some of our projects here. We won a lot of prizes with them. And what we do there? Yeah, also Meyerwerft. Yeah, they said, okay, we've been proud. We've been a very proud company, long history. A couple of 100 years ago, we were very good in shipbuilding, but somehow the market is changing. How can we react on it? Yeah, and one of the key factors in there was, how do I get my super ships, what I'm able to build, faster to the market? Yeah, the market was asking actually for more ships. So, and with doing everything what Marco said, yeah, in detail, it was a long project, I have to say it well, but we realized to reduce the dry dock times down to 6 months. So Meyerwerft is now able to build 2 big ships every year. And that's just one of the examples, yeah, like a big one. Like I said, we also been, for example, with Frauscher, we're with Abeking for super yachts, yeah. The principles, the philosophy behind it is always the same. How does it look like? Yeah, what's wrong with our pictures? Yeah, they're all cut off. So what is then the experience when we come on projects? Yeah, what do we see there? Yeah, that's actually a picture from last year. Huge ship. Probably you're familiar with that picture. The next one is also cut off. That's actually a picture from 1911. That's a Titanic. Not much changed. Yeah, you always have your big constructions around it. Hundreds of people are running all over the ship. Why is it like that? Yes, there are good reasons why you do always the same, because you did good in the past. You've been successful with what you've been doing. Yeah, that's one of the reasons you've been one of the successful market players in there. Yeah, but what can we say? Well, what Marco did already show you. What's definitely for sure is change is coming. Yeah, and we say, yes, it's coming. The future will come. Probably like not with Marty McFlurry. Yeah? He just landed a couple of days ago. And if you know the movie in there. Okay, that's not us. Okay. Also in there, yeah, people already did think about it. How does the future will look like? Yeah, and a lot of things actually were like they thought it's going to be in 2015. Some not. Yeah, but a couple of things are sure, and they will also tackle you in some of the ways. Marco already told about your customers, higher individualization. No one wants to have the same super yacht like the neighbor right beside you. Yeah, you want to be outstanding. Yeah, we have the same with our customers. No one wants the same car like the neighbor has. So that's something that definitely is going to tackle you. Yeah. Costs, as always, is always a topic. It doesn't matter if you're a OEM. It doesn't matter if you're a sub-supplier. It doesn't matter. Costs is always something. Rising complexity. That's not only on the product itself. Definitely in here, yes. And if you look here around, you're gonna have new complex products on the market. But don't focus just on the product. Yeah. It's the whole organization, yeah. It's your whole. The world is coming together, yeah. Globalization, also one of the big mega trends. So what does that mean for you? Yeah, you have a lot of interfaces to your customers. Yeah, there are designers in between. There are suppliers, sub-suppliers, whatever. Yeah. So and all that gonna rise up your complexity. What else? Shorter times to market. Yeah, that was one of the big issues Meyerwerf, for example, had. Yeah, they said we have to be faster on the market with our products. Yeah, it's senseless. Yeah, if we have the brilliant product, but we're too late. Yeah, I mean also the other way around is also not good. Yeah, if you're too fast. Yeah, if you present a high innovative product and the market is not ready for yet. Yeah, but that's something you have to consider. Even the point down here, new competitors. Yeah, also probably if you look around here, yeah, if you got new technologies, if you got new products, all of a sudden you have new players on the market. I don't want to say that the automotive industry was kind of spoiled within the last years, especially the German ones. Yeah, we've been very proud. We are like the best cars in the world coming from Germany. But all of a sudden it's changing. There are totally different players on the market. No one actually had a small company from Silicon Valley on his papers called Tesla, but all of a sudden everybody's talking about it. That's just the first step. Yeah, I just had a very interesting discussion with one of the professors, and he was like, it doesn't matter in which kind of industry you're running. It doesn't matter which product you're producing, but be aware of a tech, even if it's Google, is it Amazon, or is it Apple? Yeah? So there are definitely coming new players on the market, and you have to be prepared for that. How do we do this? Yeah, we say the only way to get prepared for all these challenges is get your problems done. And don't see problem as something bad. Yeah, we always say a problem is also an opportunity. We see this quite often in production or whatever. Yeah, if you have bad quality on parts, what are you doing? I just produce more. Yeah, so I'm always able to deliver to my market, but you're actually not focusing on your real problem. Why are you producing bad products? Yeah, you have to get all this apparent safety, like we say, what you have in work in process products, yeah, high stock amounts, all that, cut that down, that you always focus on your problems. You have to know your problems to work on them. Yeah, and if you all got that in place, you have to transform the whole company. Yeah, and it's not just a small project. Yeah, we definitely use the word, it's a transformation. It will take some time. Yeah, and why? because you have to consider all the dimensions. For sure, you have to know your product, yeah, and you probably know that, yeah. But did you also think about standards in my product? Can I use some products from another product line? All these things, yeah. Can I get some things cheaper on the market than I'm producing them right now on my own, or the other way around? So be very clear about your product, about your future products, and how also the architecture of your product. Yeah, is there an easier way to develop this product that I can produce it afterwards easier? Yeah, so that's something you definitely have to have in place. Then you're like a consulting company, especially for processes. Get your processes done. Define processes and get them synchronized. Yeah, and that's always what we say. It doesn't make sense if you have the best process and the partner right beside you doesn't know what you're talking about. And it's simple things like, are you talking about the same timeline? Have you the same milestones? All these things. Yeah, so synchronize your processes and you will get efficiency out of that. And last but not least, organization. Marco also already brought a focus on that. If you have the best processes, the best product architecture, it's nothing if you do not have the right persons in place. You always need an organization that empowers your processes, that you get everything out of it. And it's especially important when you think about megatrends, if you think about new products, if you think about innovations, you also have to think about, do I then still have the right people in place? Yeah, and if I have the right people in place, do I have them on the right place? Yeah, so that's something, and that's taking a while, yeah, that we coach your team on this journey, on this transformation to a lean enterprise. How do you do that? Yeah, how do you get the best possible outcome? Yeah, is to have cross-functional teams. We already talked about it. Yeah, when we quite often come to projects, we have always like two pillars. Yeah, there's production and there are the other guys. And that's one of the big failures you can do. Yeah, bring them together. Yeah, does the production guy know what the construction guy is actually engineering in his little office? And the other way around. Yeah, get your customer into your team. Yeah, if your team knows what your customer wants, you can focus on that. Yeah, and everything your customer wants, that's value for you because probably he's paying money for that, and everything he's paying money for that, it's actually good for you. And if you have the cross-functional team, empower them. Yeah, quite often we see that there's one strong guy on your yard, and he's deciding everything. Don't do this. Yeah, because then you limit the intelligence of your organization to one person. Yeah, give the people results they can achieve, do a realistic planning with them together, and then give them the power to achieve these results. Very, very important is for us transparency. A lot of people don't like that. Yeah, I don't want that everybody knows what I'm actually doing. Yeah, but we always say, if it's clear that he knows what you want and what you need, he can help you. Yeah. Also be transparent on if you have problems. Like we said, problem is always an opportunity. Raise it, raise your hand, say, I got a problem, I need this and that from you. And only if he knows that, he actually can help you. Yeah. And that leads to our fourth pillar, yeah, that's communication. Be clear what you talk and what you say to which person in general. For sure, people, they want to know everything. Yeah, but does it help you? No. Is it efficient? No. Yeah, because then you have a lot of discussions. Yeah, and we always say, like when you're driving a car, do you need to have everything in the car? Some of the racers probably yes. Yeah, they want to have the oil temperature and the pressure and this and that. Do I know that? Do I need that? No. I have to know, do I still have gas in my car or electric power in future? And how fast I am, for example. Yeah, so communicate in a direction the people need and always just give them the information they need to fulfill their tasks. Yeah, so that's quite important for that. So what are we saying? What are the success factors for the future? Yeah, and the most important thing in the whole production system and the whole philosophy from Toyota starting is know your customer. Yeah? Get your customer into your team, yeah? And don't say, oh, the bad customer, he always changing and he's changing late. Yes, and he will always do that, yeah? But he's paying for it. And get him in your team, know him, then you can react on it. Second thing is, like I said before, know your product. Yeah? How can you get efficiency out of your own organization? Can I use standardized parts? Yeah? Do I have to do another product architecture? Yeah? All these things, be sure about that. Yeah? Because in that, you also can probably provide even more products with a quite small effort. Yeah? Like we do as well. Yeah? We're not saying that all cars are the same, but the platforms, modules, yeah, they're changing from cars to cars. You got a big impact on your cost efficiency side. Second thing is, know your business model. Yeah? You're gonna have not just competitors on your product, you're gonna have competitors on your business model. Yeah? And you're gonna win this fight if you know your product, business model. Yeah? What do you actually want to provide in future for your customer? Then, what we said a lot, get your processes in place. Get standardized processes in place and do synchronize them. Only if you have a standardized process, yeah, you actually can measure if you are improving or not. Yeah, if everybody is doing always in a different way, you do not know if you pick on this one or on that one, what is actually then the result out of it. Yeah, but if everybody is doing it the same, yeah, and then you change something, you straight know if it's good or if it's not good. And for sure, get the right, and that's important, supporting organization in place. Get the people together, let them talk together, that they know where to have to run to. And if you get all these things together, yeah, and it will take some time, you better prepare for the future. Definitely.